is I want to discuss something with you guys. Fire this up. I want to revisit an old idea and tie into a new idea. This will be our last little experiment together. It's kind of sad, actually. So, you might remember this. There we go. You might remember this graph. Maybe not the graph, but you definitely remember what it looks like. Go back in time in your mind and see if you can make peace with that. What are you looking at right there? My 105 kids now have an intimate relationship with this. I taught them how to play craps yesterday and why they shouldn't. So what does this have to do with?
Two dice.
Throw two dice. Two fair dice, yes? Throw two fair dice and keep track of what could possibly happen. We did this in class. This has been weeks now since we did this. It's not binomial. It looks like a bell curve, but it isn't a bell curve. I mean, it's a perfect triangular curve. So, but it's a distribution of probabilities. I've made them frequencies here instead of probabilities. So there's one way to get snake eyes, there's one way to get boxcars, there's two ways to get 11s, three ways to get 10s, and so forth and so on. And then I asked you a question back in the day. I said, on average, what do you roll when you roll these dice? And you guys figured out pretty quickly you roll 7 on average. And the beauty of this curve is it's perfectly symmetric. It's this beautiful triangle, the mode, the median, the average are all the same. Say that again, Kate?
So there's none of the balancing back and forth.
Exactly, dead center. There's no worrying about, is it a little bit left, a little bit right? And then the standard deviation around that 2.42 is actually, I want to come back to that today. We've been kind of ignoring that. It snuck back in with a normal because it has to. I want to bring it back to the forefront today. What I'm going to do now is, I have some special dice up here. I created for you, out the shed. And I want to break you guys into groups of 2. Because I have a little activity, but it's easier if you work with someone. So it looks like most of you guys are picked. Don't get me any groups bigger than 2. Bigger than 2, somebody's going to be bored. So do we have an even number today? Let me just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11. Perfect. We have 13 groups, it looks like. That's fantastic. I'm going to wander around and give you each a pair of dice. And then we'll regroup and I'll talk about what I want you to do. Okay?
So did you load these dice?
You'll find out pretty